This vlog has like deteriorated in ways that I just can't even comprehend. I was not expecting this vlog to be about me becoming a full-time writer, but here we are.
So tight. So many fake hearts about to break, searching for the real.
Hello, welcome back to another vlog. Lots to update on. I actually did not set a word count goal for Camp Nano. I'm kind of like very informally doing it. I'm already behind. My general goal was to get to the end of part 2 of my fantasy book nicknamed The Floating House. Started developing it this time last year, and then I really started writing it in like, I want to say March. I sort of took February as a rest month, but I've been writing it somewhat consistently since March. So it's already July. It's been a slow grind. I'm a few chapters into part 2. I have like 8 or 10 chapters left. Today I'm gonna buckle down and try to finish 1.5 chapters. I already kind of mapped it out, and I essentially would have to write every single day if I want to hit my July goal, which I don't know how much that's gonna work out. A lot has happened in the last like month or so. Long story short, I had like just some personal life things happen that really, I would say, like messed up my writing schedule quite a bit. That required me to leave my place. I'm feeling better these days, and I also adopted a cat, and yeah, we'll see what kind of progress we can make. I'll try to vlog as much as I can over the next like couple weeks, and we'll just see how it goes. I was supposed to have a vlog up in June to like vlog finishing the end of the first act, but then I never finished that vlog because life things happened. It was like not even worth editing. But yeah, we're deep into act 2 now, having a lot of fun writing these characters. I think I'm really getting to know them as people. It has made writing a lot easier, I would say. There's still some chapters, like the one that I'm writing right now is like, feels like a very boring chapter, so I have to figure out what's going on with it. Today is, for context, July 6th. How much can we get done in like a week or two? I don't know. If you're new to my channel, The Floating House is adult fantasy. It's a secondary world fantasy. The world is loosely inspired by the historical period and the politics around early 1900s Manila. There's 2 main characters. One of the main characters works as a translator for a dead language, and all of a sudden, almost overnight, the incredibly boring, weird work that she has been doing over the last few years has suddenly become extremely relevant, and there are a lot of people, a lot of different entities who want the stuff that she's working on. And then the other main character is like the leader of something. I don't want to speak too much about like who he is yet, because I think it like reveals a lot of the premise. Him and the other main character have known each other for a very long time. They studied together back in their younger days, and then something crazy happened in the past, but they have to work together on this one thing. So that's like the vague, extremely vague vibes of the book. But yeah, it's a lot of like gang politics. The magic system deals heavily with themes of memory and trauma. So yeah, it's been a fun time. It was very difficult to start writing it at first, but I think now that I'm in the second act, I feel like I'm really settling into the world. I'm probably gonna find some plot holes as I keep writing, and I already have so many things that I like need to figure out. I feel confident enough about the arcs of the characters and where they end up and the choices that they make. It's an ensemble cast. It's very high stakes. There were moments where I was like kind of worried about it because I wasn't sure if it was interesting enough, but I'm having a fun time writing it most days, so I feel like that's enough to keep me going for now. I think the biggest thing for me is that I'm just trying not to get distracted by the next book that I want to write, because I'm already like, I wouldn't say I'm deep into it yet, but I've already begun the research process for my next book. It's gonna take a very long time. It's like a very specific topic, going to require me to just kind of learn a little bit about law, which is not something that I've historically ever been interested in, but thankfully I have a very, very close friend who works in the exact type of law that I am interested in exploring for my next book. Assuming, depending on how fast it'll take me to revise The Floating House, you know, my goal is to be writing this book by next year or the year after. My next book's probably gonna be contemporary fantasy. I'll either be writing that one next year or my other cyberpunk, sapphic cyberpunk novel that I am currently shelving. And yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun to write. Deal a lot with or just kind of discussing questions of originality and ideas. What does it mean to come up with an idea? What does it mean to own an idea? Anyways, I'm gonna get to writing. We're gonna write as fast as we can. Let's meet the cat. Hi, Clemmy. Hi. What's up? Where are you going? Oh. Clemmy, say hi to your fans. Nothing to say. Sorry, Clemmy. Yes. Yes, Clemmy girl. Yeah. Okay, so writing update. I wasn't able to finish chapter 17, but I did finish chapter 16, and then I spent this morning editing chapter 16, just all the stuff that I wrote last night. So I did that. I started my writing session earlier today, so I was able to get into a flow state earlier. I find that if I start my writing sessions too late in the day, then I'm not able to actually be productive with my writing sessions. Even though I felt like I definitely wasn't in a writing mood for the entire day, I still wrote, I think, 800 words. I hope the scene isn't boring. I was reading it over today and I was adding a little bit more interiority into the scene because it's just a lot of the two main characters talking. It's a lot of exposition. They're kind of like uncovering something. I just wanted to add a little bit more stage direction, a little bit more reflection from the perspective character. That's what I did this morning. And then today it is 1 o'clock, so I'm going to try to get through the next chapter, chapter 17. I'm actually pretty excited to write this chapter. There's a lot of action in the back half of it. You hungry? Yeah. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, right, Clemmy? Clemmy, I'm laughing with you. Clemmy, come back. Been a few days, kind of an unproductive writing week. I think I'm probably 2 chapters behind. My goal is to finish at least 1 chapter today. If I can do 2, I'll feel better. At this point, I'm not sure how likely it is for me to hit end of July Act 2 writing goal. Might not happen, but it's fine. I think as long as I get through a good chunk of Act 2, I'll feel good. I did have a couple check-ins with my agent this week, so I kind of gave her an update on how the book is going. I tentatively told her, well, I told her you're definitely gonna get this book this year because I don't want to drag out a first draft that long. I feel confident that I can deliver it to her this year. You know, we're only in July, so we still have half the year to go. I'm excited for her to read it. I mean, I hope she likes it. I'm at a very exciting point in the book right now. I'm really enjoying the chapter that I'm writing. I think it's there've been quite a few high stakes. Oh my god, my brain. There have been quite a few high stakes scenes and chapters in this book already, but I think this is a chapter that I have kind of been looking forward to writing. I think it's when a lot of the cast is on the page at the same time, culminates in fun action sequence, which typically I'm not a huge fan of writing action scenes, fight scenes. It's usually something that I don't look forward to writing, but because this book has more than I've done before, I've been kind of trying to have more fun with like choreographing a fight scene. And I think when you're choreographing action sequences for prose, very different than if you were to write a screenplay or if you were directing, you know, something that was a visual medium. In order for the action sequence to be engaging, I feel like you have to find really interesting character threads. My goal with fight scenes is for them to not be too long. Like, I want them to be as concise as possible while still feeling exciting, but also being able to obviously explore internal character beats, because I feel like that's the whole point of writing fight scenes. I think once I get through the next 2 chapters, so I'm writing chapter 17 today, and then we have chapter 18, which is another setup chapter. I think once we're past these 2 chapters, we will officially be at the midpoints. We'll probably be around 50,000 words at that point. Other updates, what else did I do this week? Oh my god, you guys, Lynn sent me Moths. I read like a couple iterations of the first few chapters, and then I did read her act 1. I think it was earlier this year, I can't remember. I was already like rereading the stuff that I have previously already read, but I'm going to read more of that today. It's gonna be like my end of the day treat for hopefully reaching my writing goals. I wanna get to act 2 or like wherever I left off. That's what I want to read today from her. I usually start every writing session by reading, but I'm scared that if I get like too deep into her draft, it's gonna be hard for me to like stop and then go back to my project. So I'm gonna save it for the end of the day, something to look forward to. We did kind of like a manuscript swap. So I gave her the current draft of Local Heavens, she gave me Moths. And yeah, Lynn's actually read all of Local Heavens draft 1. You know, she's like very familiar with the story already, but the draft has obviously changed. There's some new stuff in there. I'm obviously like excited to hear her thoughts, and I'm at a point with Local Heavens where Lynn was like, can I leave encouraging comments? And I was like, you can rip it to shreds if you want to. Obviously, I'm not like revising Local Heavens right now, and I have no interest in like rereading it at this point in time. Ooh, other exciting update. I did commission art for Local Heavens. That was something that I wanted to do last year when I finished the first draft as like a treat to myself, but I just never got around to it because I got like very busy with editing it. Oh my god, and then Rachel also gave me art. She drew Nick, and I was like, oh my gosh. I did get sketches from the artist. So good, I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm always like so embarrassed when I start off these vlogs and I'm like, this is gonna be the vlog where I write a lot, and then nothing gets written. So I got to the end of chapter 17 yesterday, but this morning as I was editing what I wrote, reading over it, I'm debating whether I want to actually move the start of the next chapter to the end of this chapter. It was really hard for me to like get into a deep flow state yesterday. I just haven't been, I don't know, focused over the last few days when it comes to this draft. So I don't know. I mean, I feel inclined to not extend the chapter. In an ideal world, I like to keep my chapters in like the 2.5 to 3K range, but I've always tended to write longer chapters. It's just kind of like the way my brain works. So
What you doing down there, Clemmy? The rain is gone, you know. It stopped raining, Clemmy. It's not raining anymore. Just so you know. Bye.
okay, so I obviously did not get any writing done yesterday. This is it. This is the end for me. Even before I graduated university, I have always worked in tech. It's just been like an environment that I know and have gotten used to, and tech layoffs have just been like a thing for the last few years, especially. Yeah, I just wasn't really thinking too much about it, but I think the worst part is just not being able to quickly say goodbye to my coworkers. I was not expecting this vlog to be about me becoming a full-time writer, but here we are with that out of the way. So yeah, the other thing that you may or may not have noticed, or I may or may not have announced at this point, is that I will officially be announcing my Ko-fi one-time donations or monthly donations to help support the channel. You can do so. I've also decided to launch memberships. I will link my Ko-fi below so you guys can see what is offered at each tier. I made the page on Sunday night. I didn't know I was gonna get laid off. I just felt this urge to make a Ko-fi page and to like start building that platform. I wasn't officially going to like launch it or announce it until after I hit 10,000 subscribers. But then on Monday morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, launching it a little bit early. But of course, my content here and also on my Substack is not gonna change. It's not gonna be paywalled. This is like purely for bonus content. For anyone who wants to just further support the channel, further support my work, because I have the time to dedicate to doing bonus content, to offering editorial services. I feel a lot more comfortable launching it now. I will not be paywalling my usual content. The reason that I decided not to monetize Substack instead is because Substack has a higher minimum requirements, and I just felt like it was too high, and I wanted to be able to just kind of have the flexibility of allowing for one-time donations that start at $1, but also monthly donations / memberships. I just think it works better for you guys, better for me. I feel like this is like a good time to start a Ko-fi page. I have a lot of like content that I want to do. I have news that I will eventually want to share. If you want more behind the scenes, first look access to all that's been happening, I will be sharing it more often on Ko-fi. Business as usual here. My sort of like seasonal Substack newsletters will also be staying completely free, but there's my little update for today. Excuse my face. This day could not have gotten worse. I've had a freaking day. Monday, I get laid off. Tuesday, I'm at my parents' house still. I wake up, my parents find out our basement has freaking flooded. And so I was helping my parents deal with that. I've done nothing else today. This vlog has like deteriorated in ways that I just can't even comprehend. Tell me why this was supposed to be like a Camp Nano. But I look so bad right now. Right, Clemmy? Clemmy's been on this step all day and the basement is like down there. And I feel like she kind of like senses that there's something going on down there. Clemmy! Okay, hi. I do not have an outro for this vlog, so this is the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think this is probably like in my 3+ years of vlogging, this has to be just the weirdest, most roller coaster insane vlog. I appreciate everyone's support on this channel, support for my writing. Thank you so much to everyone who has already signed up for my Ko-fi, donated, especially right now, for me to just kind of have this extra support. Thank you guys so much. Truly. I will have my Ko-fi linked below for anyone else who's interested. I am going to start opening up edit slots for novel excerpts, short stories, query packages, so you can check the Ko-fi link below if that's something that you might be interested in. I hope all your writing projects are going well, and I will see you guys in the next video.
We're so